Motherhood has never been an easy task, from the hormones to your body going through physical changes every day. Now add the pressure of a global pandemic, and it just seems like it's impossible. With Mother's Day just around the corner, it begs the question, how many babies were actually born during the pandemic? According to this UNICEF website, an estimated 116 million babies were born under the shadow of COVID-19. This means that millions of first-time mothers not only had to learn how to navigate the trials and tribulations of motherhood, but also how to keep their newborn baby safe from the virus. A first-time mom from Moscow, Amber Mendenhall, talks about her experience with childbirth during a pandemic and what the protocols were like in that hospital room.
They talked about you might have to wear a mask, we're gonna give you a test while you're in labor. So they're shoving up that Q-tip, while I'm going through a contraction and sending it off to be tested. Luckily, I didn't have to wear a mask in the room, but it kind of depended on the nurse's preference. So if there was a nurse on duty who was more comfortable with us wearing masks, I would need to wear one, which I completely respect. It just would have been much harder.
Lundy Peterson had to deal with the scary scenario of having her husband contract COVID-19 just weeks after giving birth to her daughter. She had to figure out how to be there for her baby as a parent, but also try to make sure that she and her newborn baby were safe from the virus.
I was so, like, when he first tested positive, I was like, you can't touch her, you can't be around her, because we just didn't know how she would, what would happen. And I think I was really worried about people also finding out, because I didn't want them to think that, we were being irresponsible, because we really had tried to be as careful as we could given the circumstances. Then she ended up being really congested. And so we took her in to get tested, and they did the nasal swab, which was just horrible because she just screamed. I think she was like 6 weeks old at the time. But she ended up, she never got a fever. And so she ended up being okay. And overall, it was a much less scary experience than I thought it would be going into it.
On top of taking care of their newborn baby and just worrying about the general health of their baby, there's also one final thing that moms should be aware of, and that's their mental health. According to Alpha Medical's website, 1 in 8 mothers may experience postpartum depression after giving birth to their babies. Cynthia Cabrera Willis openly discusses her struggles with postpartum depression and anxiety and how the state of the world played a role in its severity.
I honestly felt like I was trapped, inside my house with this baby, and we couldn't really go anywhere or see anyone or do anything like that. And so I actually did get I did get postpartum anxiety and depression just from not being able to have those interactions with other people. I think if I was able to go out and, just go to people's houses or go to the mall, and just do those things with friends and family, I think I would have been a lot better off.
I think advice that I would give is just to give yourself grace. There are hard aspects of all of it, of pregnancy and the way that your body changes, and the birth experience can be really traumatic. And then you just have this person that is completely reliant on you for all their needs. And it can be really easy to feel like you're failing. But I think it's so important to give yourself grace, to remind yourself that this is a big change and you're doing the best that you can.
If you or anyone you know has any questions about pregnancy during a pandemic or postpartum in general, visit Alpha Medical's website at www.helloalpha.com or ask your local healthcare provider. I'm Christian Garza with Murrow News 8.